Good morning and a happy Monday to you all. Welcome to Thrive, Not Just Survive. I'm your host, Nasira Jamal, and I'm so happy to be able to come to you daily each week with different women entrepreneurs that share their genius with us, and where I can actually bring people to the platform of just increasing engagement and getting people to show their light. So as we are here on a Monday, I was scheduled to be speaking to a very special guest, but unfortunately she is not feeling well today, and she messaged me saying she wouldn't be able to make it. So that doesn't mean that the show can't go on, and it won't go on because it will always go on, right? So what I want to talk to you about is what she was going to talk about was automation and sales funnels, and she helps women do that. But what I want to talk about is sales. I've been doing a lot of speaking lately in groups where people have sales forces or teams of salespeople that want to train in terms of how do you get better? How do you increase your sales? And how do you get more yeses than nos? And what I realized as I'm training all of these, and I asked this question, is that for the most part with sales training, people have been told that sales is a numbers game. Now, if you're watching this live or on replay, hashtag replay if you are, just so I know that you were watching later. But how many of you have been told in any training that you took for sales that sales is a numbers game? I, as a realtor, started 15 years ago, and I remember my broker, having a meeting with me when I first started. Literally, like the very first day, sat me in a boardroom and said, "Listen, sales is a numbers game, and you have to, work on conversion, but you've got to get 100 no's before you get that one yes. So knock on 100 doors or make 100 cold calls, and just know that it's all about averages, and you'll get 1 out of 100, and then as you get better, your conversion will go up. You might get 2 out of 100." And so again, the whole concept was sales is a numbers game, and I actually initially did buy into that. I was making phone calls and, getting defeated. And I would wake up every day saying, okay, today I'm going to go door knocking. And, I went with another partner because I didn't want to go alone. And sometimes it's defeating. Anyways, long story short, I was told that, and I'm sure anybody that is in sales has had training where, you hear sales is a numbers game. And I want to tell you, I'm going to debunk that myth in this live today. You see, I think that's probably one of the biggest, potentially the biggest lies ever told in sales, is that sales is a numbers game. Because if you really think about it, like if you're going to go for no every day and to get that one yes, like when you think about it, how many times would you say that, in order to get more yeses, you have to get more no's? And that's what people have been told. But that's actually not true. Like, what if I told you today that that's far from the truth? Because in order to get more yeses, in actuality, you have to just get more yeses, right? Like, that's part of the logic. And I want you to think about your business and how do you get more yeses? Okay, so I want to take you back a little bit. Personality science has been around for thousands of years. Hippocrates, the father of medicine, used personality science, and he made this very famous back in the day, using personality science to treat his patients, and he called it the 4 temperaments, right? So he realized actually that based on his patients, different people were reacting differently to how he was administering the medical therapy or the medication. And so he decided to group them in 4 different groups and started to treat them based on their personality. And he realized that this was really having a big impact on their health. And so what I want to talk to you about today, as personality science is not anything new, but the founder of this methodology, her name is Sherry Tree. But what she found as she was realizing that when she was in sales and getting a lot of no's and didn't understand why, she looked at it from a different angle, saying, well, wait a minute, what's that missing link where, how do you get somebody that says to your product or service, somebody that says yes, and then you do the same presentation and another person says no. And what she realized 20 years ago was that different people, different personalities made different buying decisions because of what they valued. And she started to test this in her business and she was in financial services. So she decided that, you know what, I'm going to test this out and see if really there's something here where different people make decisions based on different values that they have. And if I can actually get them to say yes, but based on my presentation towards what's most important to them. And so she began to do this. And what she realized is within 3 years, she impacted her income up to more than 600%. And so she realized that, you know what, it's not that the system is, or that I'm broken. It's more that there's a missing link in the system. And if I'm able to bring the 4 personalities and assess what the buying behavior is, I can get more yeses. And so she actually, as she was getting all of the success in her industry, people started to ask her, like, can you come out and speak to our groups? Can you show us what you're doing to get this kind of result? And so she did. And now, as I'm learning more about it, and now because I'm so passionate, because I learned something that, with this whole idea of sales being a numbers game, and that was totally a myth, is I became certified in this methodology because I feel so empowered of teaching it to others so that they can supercharge their business, their sales, they can impact their relationships. And, the whole idea of when somebody says work smarter, not harder. Well, what does that mean? How do you do that? And Sherry actually cracked the code on this one. So what I want to show you today is something very powerful. And Forbes actually has said that this is the future of sales. This codebreaker AI, artificial intelligence, is the future of sales. And they did a whole study and saw that, this methodology is one of its kind in the world. It's revolutionary. And I'm going to try sharing my screen. This is the first time I'm doing this on StreamYard, so bear with me because I want to show you the power that once you understand the personality code of the 4 personality codes in terms of buying behavior, how that could impact your business if you knew that you were talking to a certain personality that has these certain values, and how you can get your product or service in front of them that they would find most appealing to what they value in that particular product or service. You see, for a lot of us, we have one presentation and we go to all the different personality codes. We do our presentation. We're very good at what we do, but yet we only get 1 out of 4 because we're talking in our code, in our personality code, right? So when you understand that there are 4 personality codes and that when you speak to them in the code that they most value, you're just going to get more yeses because they understand it from their perspective. And remember, if they need that product or service and you have it, but you didn't speak to them from their value perspective, they're going to go find it from somewhere else, right? So if you can only see it from one code, which is your own, you're missing a lot of the others and you're leaving a lot of business on the table. And so that's why I'm so passionate about this, is because logically, when you look at this, you can actually serve more people, your product and service. I mean, you're in business to help people and you can serve more if you understand that the person standing in front of you has a certain value system that processes differently than others. And how do you move them in the sales process to allow them to feel that this product or service is going to help them for the problems that they need solved, okay? So I want to share my screen because the Codebreaker AI, the artificial intelligence, is so powerful that in nanoseconds, you can actually crack the code. And so before you make that phone call or before you write that email, you're able to see, okay, so this is their dominant personality, that I can actually speak to them in a certain code that will allow them to open the email or, take the phone call and have that discussion where they really feel like you understand them. And see, that's the thing. For most people, for salespeople, it's like you're talking from your own perspective, and the other person may feel at times that you don't understand what they're trying to do or what they need. And so I want to share my screen with you. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing this on StreamYard, so I hope it works, but if not, I will continue this conversation because I really feel it's important for you to see what the future of sales is, what Forbes has said. This Codebreaker AI is the future of sales. And if you want to be ahead of your competition, if you want to be, using revolutionary technology in your sales business or in any business or in relationships, how you can impact, have more impact, this is truly a game changer. So let's do this now. Let me try this. Okay. So I hope that you are able to see my screen. If anybody is watching, just let me know if you can see my screen there, which is, sorry. Okay, so I want to go to my LinkedIn, and I'm going to show you that right here. And let's just make sure it's working. Yeah, I think it's working. Okay, so this is LinkedIn. This is my profile. Now, when I talk about artificial intelligence or Codebreaker AI, what happens is that they have just released a couple of weeks ago a Google Chrome extension, which now allows you on any LinkedIn profile when you go, because a lot of salespeople, prospect on LinkedIn, have connections on LinkedIn. And if you want to understand how that person communicates, or how, whatever they've written, and you want to decode their personality, there's a button here that says click to decode personality. So when I click that, you're going to see this appearing. This is the the codes of my personality. So my dominant code shows up as A, which is action. Then it's nurture, knowledge, and blueprint. In another video, I'm going to go over what all of these mean and what the values are for all of the personalities, because it's really important to understand what these codes mean and how you can show up for your customers or your prospects or your clients. But what I wanted to show you is the power of Codebreaker AI, because now in nanoseconds before you talk to somebody, you're able to get this information, and you can actually get the report, their profile report. And the report actually shows you, what things to say that will give them the opportunity to say yes. And tripwires are what makes it so that if you say certain things, what will actually turn them off or say no, and what you want to avoid in your sales presentation. So, you can get two reports here. The sales report is the one that gives you the sales tips on how to approach that particular person. And so this is really, really powerful, because once you know the personality code, and just like Hippocrates used the 4 temperaments to treat his patients, we're using personality science in a revolutionary way in today's sales practices to help you make more connections, better connections, and move people through the sales process faster, because they understand, or you understand from their perspective what they need, and that's how you show up for them. So I wanted to show you that, and I'm hoping that as I go back onto StreamYard, that I can stop sharing for a minute, and I'm back. So I will watch this again just to see that, you were able to, oh, Jose, thank you. You were able to see my screen. Thank you so much. And so what I wanted to really encourage you, if you are looking at your business, maybe because of COVID-19, there's been some setback for you. Maybe you're thinking, well, how do I, recoup the 6 months that perhaps weren't the greatest for 2020 for your business? There is technology out there, there is resources, there's information that could really help you, that you can even recover the last 6 months, the next 2 quarters for your business. And I want to invite you. There's a masterclass going on for the next 3 weeks. We actually had our first one last Thursday, which was phenomenal. What you want to do is message me or put in the thread of this video, put in the comments masterclass, and I'll send you the link. You can still join. You can still get all of the information. The founder of all of this methodology is actually doing the training, Sherry Tree. So it's really an opportunity for you to learn from the master. And what she's showing is how to use technology, how to use the different intelligences to really supercharge your business, and how this methodology can really help you understand your clients and your customers. So I invite you to join in the masterclass. If you do join today, you'll be able to go into the live session this week. Plus, you'll get the replay from last week, so you can actually see what we talked about last week and catch up. You can take in the $1 offer to try this technology, try the Google Chrome extension and the LinkedIn, as I just showed you. You can try that for $1. And what I'm going to offer you today is, if you sign up for the $1 trial, message me and I'll give you a free coaching session on how to apply it to your business. So I will walk you through the back end of it and help you with lead generation. You can generate unlimited leads just for $1 for the next 30 days and keep those leads. Okay. So this is just for you to experience this level of technology and really understand how you can change your business. Even as, people are in COVID, really under that worry mode of what's going to happen, how am I going to recoup? This is really a game changer. I took this master class back in May. I'm taking it again because remember, repetition is the mother of learning. It is what allows us to really retain the information and be able to take action, because at the end of the day, that's what we all need to take right now is action. We need to show up. We need to help others. And I'm committed to helping you guys. So you know that I come in here every single day. I bring different women entrepreneurs on so that they can showcase their genius, that we can support you in whatever you're doing, whatever you're going through. I want to invite you to the masterclass. I wanted to show you Codebreaker AI because I know for the group that I'm in part of and that we're using it every single day, I don't respond to an email now before I actually run it through AI, because I want to make sure that my email is going to resonate with the person receiving it, that they understand that I am really wanting to help and show up for them the way they want me to be in terms of the values that are most important to them. So that's Codebreaker AI. And I'm going to one of these evenings, and I will post it, I'm going to do a session on the 4 personalities. So you can actually understand from that perspective, what are these personalities and what makes them say yes? What is the values that they are most attached to, that they make those buying decisions based on those values of how, whatever your product or service is, how that could help them and match with what they're trying to do. So I want to be able to share with this information, because I do think that this is going to help you guys. Okay. The next 6 months, they don't have to be, you don't have to write them off. Okay. We can definitely change things around. And of course, I talk a lot about mindset, and now you're going to get the tool set and the skill set when attending, the masterclass. And so I invite you, come out to the masterclass. It's 90 minutes. It's for the next 3 Thursdays live with the master Sherry Tree, who is the creator of this methodology, and she has spoken on stages all over the world. She's been invited to Harvard University. She's been on the stage of the United Nations. She was asked to speak about Codebreaker AI because it's so revolutionary. This is how profound this technology is. And I invite you to the masterclass. I invite you to message me. If you have questions, you're like, you know what, Nasira, I do multi-level marketing, or I'm in direct sales. I don't know how I would be able to use this. Will it help me? Just message me. I'll show you. I'll walk you through it. I'll take you in my virtual office and show you all of the technology and how you can apply it. So That's it for today. I wish you a wonderful day. Happy Monday. Remember to be kind to yourself and to others. Do have a guest on tomorrow, so join in tomorrow at 10 a.m. I'll see you then. God bless.